First, it was the houses, whether the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. Now, the leader of opposition has taken to the pen. He is voicing his demand that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah must be sacked. These are the breaking inputs we are getting in a massive political escalation by leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, who has used an editorial in an English daily to launch his sharpest attack yet on Union Home Minister Amit Shah over the July 20th student protests. Rahul Gandhi frames it as an either or charge, saying that either the Home Minister authorized an illegal and unconstitutional assault on students, in which case he is culpable, or he did not know what security forces under his ministry were doing barely 500 meters away from the Parliament. Rahul Gandhi, in his editorial, goes on to call the Union Home Minister entirely incompetent. His conclusion is, and let me quote, either way, the Home Minister must resign. He's also targeted Prime Minister Modi, accusing the government of intimidating the protesters. Let's quickly go across to Nayanika, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Nayanika, time and again, we've heard that charge ever since the July 20th protests, but this time it's been penned in an editorial, almost immortalizing his demand.
Well, yes, we have seen that how the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, has been continuously targeting the Union Home Minister Amit Shah since 20th of July. We have seen that not just inside the Parliament, but outside as well through various press conferences or the campaign which he had addressed recently. Also, the question which he is continuously raising is from the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, that whether he has given those instructions to the police force to, lathi charge or even use the pellet guns against the protesting students. That is what he has mentioned in this editorial piece as well, which he has written today in a leading daily, as he has basically stated that if...
Very thanks to you, Nayanika. I'm so sorry to interrupt you there. I have Mr. Tuhin Sinha of the Bharatiya Janata Party joining me on the phone line. Mr. Sinha, very good morning to you. What do you make of this either or charge that he's using? He's saying that either this entire assault was illegal and unconstitutional, or perhaps the Union Home Minister was not aware of what was happening barely meters away from the Parliament.
Well, good morning, Akansha. Good morning. Rahul Gandhi has a one-point sinister agenda, which is to mislead the youth of the country. He is frustrated by the fact that, despite all his attempts to manufacture mayhem in the national capital, not a single life was lost. Basically, the opposition wanted to replicate the situation in 1966, the unsavory situation in 1966, when during the cow protection Andolan, seven sadhus were killed. They were working on a sinister plan to recreate that situation, and that was evident when on 21st of July last month, Rahul Gandhi, squatted outside Prime Minister's residence in a high security zone for 3 hours. So I think Home Minister handled it very adroitly in the best possible manner, and Rahul Gandhi's malafide and sinister plans were foiled. 2 days after that, the landmark Prevention of Examination Paper Leak amendment was passed. We thought that the only people who would be upset by that would be the examination paper mafia, but instead it is Congress party which seems to be in shock after the passage of that landmark bill. Now Rahul Gandhi needs to answer what exactly does he want, because it is Supreme Court's ruling. I think 10 days ago, Supreme Court passed a very clear ruling that use of pellets is part of graded response by the police. So in an unsavory situation, when after the use of lathi charge, when after the use of tear gas shells, if the situation does not get controlled, the police is not prohibited from using pellets. Now, at the same time, the government has made it categorically, has repeated a very categorical stand that not a single gun firing took place. Which
Since you talk about the use of pellet guns, which is why I want to bring your attention to how he has spoken about there has to be accountability for the injuries that the students have borne. And that's why he's referred to that student who also lost his eyesight because of the use of pellet guns. He's saying whether it is the Rapid Action Force or the Delhi police, they are all reporting to the Union Home Ministry, which is why it is the Home Minister who's responsible for these police excesses, for this kind of brutality.
So what about the 250 injured police personnel? Why does Rahul Gandhi always take a one-sided and a lopsided view? That is our point. Like I said, Rahul Gandhi was working on a far more malafide intent. He wanted a few lives to be lost, and the way the majority with Home Ministers handled the whole situation is exceptional. You know, Home Minister has been present in the Parliament for the last 2 weeks, but because of the drama which the opposition has created every single day because of the obstructionist attitude, it did not deem it necessary to, come in at this point of time. Home Minister is prepared with a FCRA amendment bill, which is what the Congress party's main fear is.
Okay.
I'm telling you one of the reasons, not one of the reasons, the only reason why they continue to drag the issue of student protest even after the landmark decisions taken by the government is because they are scared of the FCRA amendment bill, they are scared of delimitation, they are scared of women's reservation bill.
All right, thank you for referring to all of those aspects of the protest, Tuhin. I'm going to have to quickly go over to Shazia also, who's joining us on the phone lines. So Shazia, Tuhin has spoken extensively about Rahul Gandhi's attacks being leveled as far as the police brutality is concerned. I want to quickly bring you in on the freedom of speech angle. He's saying that I'm repeatedly denied to speak up in the Lok Sabha. B, if Amit Shah did not have anything to hide, he should have participated in the parliament debate.
Well, we all heard Rahul Gandhi speak, and I think he cut a sorry figure. He could not substantiate any of his allegations with facts, and he was pulled up a few times because he kept talking about Andhbhakt, and he kept telling people a story which even he couldn't comprehend. As for his article or the editorial piece, the edit piece that he's written, it's a very, very poorly crafted, and there is no logic in what he writes. Because on the one hand, he blames the Home Ministry, and this has also been clarified in the debate that the Home Minister doesn't really give the permission. It is done by the judicial magistrate. The district magistrate. But while he writes that both the security forces deployed, the Delhi police and the Rapid Action Force report to the Home Minister, and then he asks for Prime Minister's resignation and making Prime Minister personally responsible.
Absolutely, which is why, Shazia, I want to quickly bring you in on the point, the attack that has been leveled against Prime Minister Modi, even the forgiveness that has been offered by the Prime Minister of this nation has been attacked. He's not only gone on to say that Prime Minister's image is a fake image, but that bubble that had, or rather that balloon which was floating on a lot of money and resources which are put into maintaining that fake image, that balloon has been burst.
And it's hilarious because you look at Jharkhand. He hasn't shown up there. There has been, or there are those hapless students without any pouring in of resources, food, and all the burger brigade is totally missing from there. And what has Rahul Gandhi said about that? And with such poor
Shazia, I'm going to ask you to please hold on to your thoughts, because I also have Mr. Imran Masood from the Congress Party. A very good morning to you, Mr. Masood, for joining in. If we've just been discussing that entire editorial that has been penned by the leader of opposition. And you've heard the arguments coming from our BJP spokesperson, Shazia Almi is with us. We also heard Tuhin Sinha. The fact of the matter is that they've always maintained that these protests have been controlled. The government has made its own set of outreach to these student protesters as well. How would you like to respond?
देखिए, राहुल जी ने जो भी बात बोलते हैं और जो कहते हैं, राहुल जी की पिछले 12 साल में एक भी बात गलत साबित नहीं हुई। और राहुल जी ने जो सवाल खड़ा किया वो जेन्युइन है। आप हेड हैं तो आपको रिस्पांसिबिलिटी लेनी पड़ेगी। अगर आपसे पूछे बिना पुलिस ने बच्चों के साथ ये व्यवहार किया है तो भी बहुत गलत है, और आपकी जानकारी में हुआ तो भी बहुत गलत है। तो दोनों सूरतों में आपकी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी बनती है, तो इससे आप रिस्पांसिबिलिटी से थोड़ी भाग सकते हैं।
Shazia ji, would you like to respond to that?
Yes, I think कुछ बेसिक फैक्ट्स हैं जिसकी जानकारी शायद राहुल गांधी जी को नहीं है। और
इमरान मसूद जी, आपको बोलने का मौका दिया गया ना, सुन लीजिए शाजिया भी क्या कहना चाह रही हैं, सुन लीजिए।
मुझे थैंक यू वेरी मच, मुझे बहस में नहीं उलझना है।
All right, so but Shazia, I'd still ask you to go ahead. You heard that they are of course using that either or charge, that either ways it is the Union Home Minister who's culpable.
I mean, Rahul Gandhi doesn't know his facts. Now, you see that July 20th march to Parliament was not permitted. And Delhi police has publicly warned beforehand that no permission has been sought. So all the actions that will be taking place will be in accordance to rule of law. And it is Rahul Gandhi who keeps screaming on top of his voice, Samvidhan, Bachao Samvidhan. So he must follow the Samvidhan, the constitution. And clearly he has very little idea of how things work. The fact of the matter is, even about Narendra Modi ji, the fact that he reached out to youngsters, and if he apologized those, because a whole lot of ugliness was being spread, and there was also a lot of anger. So people felt who loved Modi ji. Okay. And so he tried to...
So, Shazia, I want to take this argument beyond just Rahul Gandhi. Why should Rahul Gandhi become a mouthpiece for, say, the discontent on the ground? Many political analysts have said that perhaps the Bharatiya Janata Party, the government at the centre particularly, the NDA, failed to read the sentiment on the ground. Had the government had any idea, they would have made that outreach to the students when they were protesting at Jantar Mantar for all of those days. Apart from that crackdown on Meta also for the kind of content, whether it is sexually exploitative in nature towards children or, say, even women, all of these steps should have been taken much earlier.
See, the fact of the matter is that, strangely, Prime Minister's video was taken off. And the response that you kept seeing there, pursuing a legal request. And pursuant. So I don't understand that why Meta would do that, and it cannot be just treated as a technical glitch. That's one. Two, and more importantly, Meta has had to apologize for this.
All right. Many thanks to you, Shazia, for joining in with your precious insights here at Times Now. In fact, I also have Mr. I.P. Singh, the Superintendent of Police, joining us on Times Now. Mr. Singh, as someone who's seen the ground situation firsthand, how do you respond to the attack that's being leveled by the Leader of Opposition?
देखिए, देश में हालात बहुत खराब हैं, बेरोजगारी चरम पर है। बेरोजगारी का ये आलम है कि हर घर में हमारे बेटी बेटियां बेरोजगार बैठे हुए हैं, उनके माँ बाप उन्हें अच्छी शिक्षा देते हैं, उसके बावजूद भी रोजगार नहीं है। महंगाई, जिस महंगाई डायन कहकर ये सरकार 2014 में आई, आज 2014 और 26 के बीच महंगाई 3 गुना बढ़ चुकी है। चारों तरफ हाहाकार है। उत्तर प्रदेश जैसे बड़े राज्यों में बिजली नहीं आती है, देश के अन्य भागों में बिजली नहीं पहुंच पाती है। इनोवेशन के क्षेत्र में
आईपी साहब, एक आखिरी प्रश्न यही पूछा चाहूंगी कि समाजवादी पार्टी स्टूडेंट्स के साथ नीट इशू पे है कि महंगाई पे है, या आप उत्तर प्रदेश के इश्यूज की बात कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, देखिए, हमारा कांग्रेस के साथ गठबंधन है, हम उनके साथ हैं, और देश के जितने भी मुद्दे हैं उन सभी मुद्दों पर समाजवादी पार्टी सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश की ही राजनीति नहीं करती है। समाजवादी पार्टी प्रिंसिपल अपोनेंट पार्टी है देश में। हम देश के सभी मुद्दों पर हम संघर्ष करते हैं। आपने देखा होगा कि जंतर मंतर पर जिस तरह से समाजवादी पार्टी की सांसद आदरणीय बहन डिंपल यादव जी नेतृत्व कर रही थी, पूरी समाजवादी पार्टी स्टूडेंट्स के साथ।
All right, Mr. I.P. Singh, I'm so sorry to interrupt you there. I'm running short of time. We'll have to quickly slip into a quick break as we, in fact, return with the latest. There are more breaking inputs lined up for you. Don't go anywhere. Come right back here at Morning News.